The Edinburgh Castle looms over the Scottish capital like it owns the city, and probably it does. This castle stands on Castle Rock, overlooking the city centre. It has stood on this spot since 1018 AD, and it was this rock that gave Edinburgh its name. Hello and welcome to GiGlee magazine, a haven for history lovers like you. You can catch up on more content on the website www.giggly.in. Don't leave just yet. Let us first explore Edinburgh Castle. Every Scottish castle seems to have a spooky story. Edinburgh Castle does too. If you are the type of person who prefers the real to the paranormal, here are a few couple of things that you can see at Edinburgh Castle apart from the ghosts. The Half Moon Battery. The Half Moon Battery is a great place to snap photos and admire Edinburgh. This battery also hides a secret. Under the Half Moon Battery lies a tower. The David's Tower was a three-storied structure. This old tower was forgotten for centuries after it was destroyed. They only found out about it 105 years ago. Moon's Meg. I like the name and also this cannon. Moon's Meg is the oldest resident of Edinburgh Castle. It was gifted to James II in 1457 by the Duke Philip of Burgundy. This huge cannon could be fired only few times a day. It would overheat due to the gunpowder. Moon's Meg has a capacity to fire about 150 kgs of gunpowder at a time with a range of 3.2 kilometers. This cannon is unfortunately out of commission now. St. Margaret's Chapel. Queen Margaret, the wife of King Malcolm Canmore, was the first queen to live in the Edinburgh Castle. She was a devout Catholic. After her death in 1093 AD, her son David I built a chapel in her memory. Today, this small chapel is the place to get married or Christian babies, in case you're looking for wedding destinations. It's also the oldest surviving building in Scotland. The original arch remains intact and is bomb-proof. The chapel is looked after by the St. Margaret's Chapel Guild. This guild is formed by women whose names are all Margaret. The War Memorial. The War Memorial building was built to remember the Scottish soldiers who lost their lives during the World Wars. This beautiful memorial houses old books which record the brave men who went down fighting. Scottish soldiers who perished in both the World Wars and military campaigns post the wars are all honored here. Poppy wreaths remember the numerous lives lost for the country. The memorial signifies courage, peace, justice, and the survival of the spirit. The Great Hall. The moment you step in, your gaze lifts up to the marvelous ceiling. The giant beams in rich brown shade are beautiful and they are wooden. The armaments that line the hall are numerous. What most visitors don't know is the Great Hall had a beam installed in its walls. You could spy over the people in the hall. This beam was closed up. Prisons of war. You mustn't forget and think it was all about the royal pomp. This castle also housed several prisoners. Visitors can have a look inside the dark, damp dungeon-like prison. The clothes, hammocks, and the sense of sadness is all very sinister. The prison housed French privateers in the 18th century, followed by Americans, Polish, Spanish, Italians, Dutch, Irish, and Danish. There were some intelligent prisoners. A bunch of them managed to make a hole in the wall and escape. I don't know what happened to them, but you can still see the hole. And lastly, let us have a look at the Royal Palace. The Scottish crown jewels are called Honours of Scotland. They are one of the oldest surviving crown jewels in Europe, and you can find them here at the castle. In 1707, after England and Scotland merged by the Acts of Union, the crown jewels were kept away in the crown room, forgotten for 100 years. They were rediscovered by Sir Walter Scott in 1818. The Stone of Destiny, or as it's called, Stone of Scone. is a part of coronation ceremonies. It was taken to Westminster Abbey for the coronation of the current Queen in 1953. It remained in the Abbey till four Scottish students removed the stone. It was mysteriously found on the altar of Arbroath Abbey and is now safely at the Edinburgh Castle. And that's that of the castle. If you are at the castle around 1 o'clock, make sure to visit the 1 o'clock gun fired 6 days of the week since 1861. The other places to explore are the Regimental Museum and the Queen's embroideries. Before I leave, here's something for you to ponder upon. What might have been the various stories Edinburgh Castle has seen since the 11th century? Comment your thoughts below. For more historical stuff, head over to www.giglee.in and make sure to hit like if you enjoyed watching.